What a wonderful film.
तेरे सपनों में डूबी रहे आँखें, तेरी खुशबू से महक रही सांसें।
रंग तेरे पाँव का लग के मेरे
Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage and Nadia Ke Paar is a 1982 Hindi language romantic feel-good drama. It was directed by Govind Muniz and it's based on the novel Koba Ki Shaad by Prasad Mishra, which was first published in 1965. But it's only based on the first half of that novel, and while the original story is very tragic, this movie version goes a different way and has an ending that is different from what's happening in the novel, and it goes out on a much happier note. And honestly, without having read the novel, for this movie I was very happy with the ending they chose. Unfortunately though, I wasn't very happy with the short synopsis on IMDb, which already spoils the events that are happening towards the end. And as I was watching the film with that synopsis in mind, I began to wonder when exactly all of that should happen, because even after 2 full hours in, there was no sight of it. But as we have seen with quite a few Indian movies in the past, that doesn't mean that there can't still be a very tragic twist at the very end. And that's also the case here. I assume most of you already know the movie, but I still don't want to spoil what's happening at the end. Anyway, I think a much better synopsis would be Nadia Ke Paar, which can be translated as Across the River, tells the story of Chandan and Gunja, 2 young people who live in 2 villages that are separated by the titular river. It's about how their families are tied together by the marriage of their older siblings and how they themselves slowly fall in love. And what should I say, it's an absolutely lovely film and I wholeheartedly recommend it to anyone who's looking for a beautiful, nice and chill, light-hearted romance that's brought to life by fun and lively performances, great chemistry between the actors and some truly beautiful song and dance sequences. It was a big success when it came out and it was also remade in 1994 as Hum Aapke Hain Kaun, starring Madhuri Dixit and Salman Khan. The original stars Sachin Pilgaonkar as the young farmer Chandan, who lives with his older brother and his uncle, and Sadhana Singh as Gunja, a mischievous young woman from the village across the river. The location is the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh, and the time, sometime in the past. As an outsider, it's not that easy to pinpoint down when exactly a story is taking place, if it's not in the present or if there aren't any clear indications about it. But with the novel being from 1965, I assume it's a few years, maybe decades before that. In any case, the movie paints a beautiful, while also fairly romanticized, nostalgic, feel-good picture of its rural setting. It has such a warm and welcoming atmosphere, and it's a delight to delve into this old film and spend some time with its characters and their feelings. It has a very leisure pace, but in this case, that's also used to make that whole love story of Chandan and Gunja feel really organic. It's of course pretty obvious from the get-go that there's a spark between the 2 of them, and while they are pretty harsh with each other and playing some tricks, we of course already know that they will end up together. But the journey there, which is basically the entire film, is so charming and entertaining. The storytelling and filmmaking are rather simple, but that's part of the charm. For example, the editing. There are so many instances where we cut to a close-up and then zoom out to establish the situation. The overall cinematography is really beautiful, and the colorful costumes and the landscapes add to the film's cozy and alluring atmosphere. As do the characters, of course. It's a nice little ensemble with Chandan and Gunja at the center. Sachin and Sadhana Singh are great together, and the attraction and tension between the 2 feels very tangible. Their chemistry is wonderful, and especially Sadhana Singh is just fantastic. This was her first role, and she comes across as an absolute natural. Nadia Ke Paar is a family entertainer and their love is very sweet and innocent. At the same time, as an adult, you can certainly feel the sexual tension and all the longing as well, even if none of that is ever really shown out in the open. Another absolute highlight is the great soundtrack that was composed by Ravindra Jain. It takes a little while before we get our first song, but after that we get quite a few more in nice little intervals. And I really liked all of them so much that it's hard to pick favorites. Be it the second one where Chandan sings about a happy new life now that there's a sister-in-law in their home, the one where he and Gunja are driving in the cart, or the one about a Holi festival. It's just a really lovely little film about good-hearted characters and the excitement of being in love. I only wished, especially in regards to the ending, that Chandan's brother Okram and their relationship would have been fleshed out a little bit more. But overall, I really had such a wonderful time with this one. So in German I'd say, Nadia Kepar ist ein einfacher, aber auch wirklich schöner, farbenfroher und romantischer Film mit einem großartig aufgelegten Leinwandpaar und vielen tollen Songs. I give Nadia Kepar 8 out of 10. It's more like 8.1, but I don't do that.
गुंजा रे गुंजा
Alright, that's it like always. Comment below and let me know what you think about Nadia Kepar. You can hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd and also on Patreon, simply at the Jimmy Cage. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And make sure you hit that bell for all I have to tell.